Hey folks, this is Kalani. The Prepatch event is finally here, giving you some new story content to work your way through, new content in the event itself which can reward you with some pretty good gear and let you quickly gear up and level up your alts. There's a new heirloom ring to collect and the warband bank is finally available. There's quite a bit to keep you busy in this event and there are some prerequisites to those new story quests we mentioned, so let's go over what you need to do to take part in the new event and how you can get all of the rewards on offer. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing you're going to want to do is work through the new story quests that became available with the new event. When you log in, you should get a cinematic that goes over the most recent major events from the past few expansions, kind of like a story so far recap or reminder, just in case you didn't play through those expansions, or maybe you forgot how we got to where we are now. After that, you should have the quest The War Within, which asks you to head down to Silithus and talk to Thrall. The War Within questline also comes with a teleport scroll down to the zone, so you can just head straight there. The quest line walks you through what Magni has been up to since we last talked to him, and we're trying to figure out what these radiant echoes or radiant song visions are all about. After working through all of that, you will end up in Dalaran, ready to take part in the new event. Now if you don't have this quest, if it doesn't pop up for you, you need to double check your quest log and see if you have already completed the Harbinger quest line. You do need to do that quest line before you can pick up and work through the new story quests, so if you haven't done the Harbinger storyline yet, you'll want to work through that one first. It's important to note that you only have to do the Harbinger quest line on one character, and then all of your other characters can do the new stuff, so you only have to do it once, which is nice. The quests are pretty quick this time around, there isn't too much to work through, but they do lead you quite nicely into the new Radiant Echoes event that will be active for the rest of the expansion. The Radiant Echoes event is very simple. There are 3 zones that will have the event active: Dustwallow Marsh, Dragon Blight and the Searing Gorge. The zone will rotate every 90 minutes. The rotation is going to speed up as the weeks go by, and eventually it will be rotating every 30 minutes, so as we get closer to the launch of the War Within, you'll be able to take part in the event every 30 minutes, which will make earning the rewards quite quick. In Dalaran you can find 3 portals, 1 to each of the event zones, and the currently active zone will have a timer above it telling you when the next zone will become active. The actual event, or at least the important part of it, only happens at the start of the switchover, so you want to be there when a new zone becomes active. It starts with a Congealed Memories mini-boss. Killing that will reward you with a handful of the new Residual Memories currency. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. The event is then going to split into 6 mini-events which you can track on your world map. Each one asks you to do something different, so fly on over, do whatever the event is going to ask of you, fill up its progress bar, and then move on to the next one. After all 6 events are ticked off, the event boss will spawn. Check your map again, fly on over and make sure you hit it to get credit. The boss will reward you with 500 residual memories, 5 memories of the continent that the zone is in, a piece of item level 480 warbound gear, as well as a box that contains soulbound item level 493 champion gear, so you can actually get some pretty decent gear from the bosses themselves. After the boss is dead, the zone kinda becomes dormant until it swaps over again, so the first 3 phases up until that boss are the important parts of the event, so be sure you're keeping an eye on the zone timers and head to a new zone as quickly as you can. One very easy way of keeping track is to stay in the Dalaran portal room, and when the timer above the active portal is running out, get ready to head to the next active zone to get credit for that important stuff and kill the boss for the best loot. With the bosses rewarding you with 500 residual memories, you should get at least that for every event you take part in. Any monsters you tag or kill will also give you some extra currency, but the big chunks are going to come from the boss kills. There are also weekly quests for each of the 3 zones which rewards you with 1500 residual memories each. The weekly quests are very simple, you just need to complete the event and kill the boss in each zone, so take part in the start of the event and you'll complete these super easily. These quests are weekly, but they are per character, which means you can do them as many times as you want as long as you have multiple alts and characters to pick them up and complete them. A very important note about this new currency is that it is warband transferable, which means you can send it to your alts from the currency tab without losing any currency in the transfer. So if you really want to, you could complete the weekly quests on as many alts as you have, or have the patience for at least, and then send all of that currency to your main character and then just buy everything you want from the event super quickly. Arguably, the more alts you have, the faster you're going to be able to buy everything on offer. So we know how we can get our hands on this currency, but what can we spend it on? What rewards can we get from taking part in this event? Well, there's a vendor by the portal in each zone, as well as one in Dalaran, and they all sell mostly the same stuff. You can buy 32 slot bags and 30 slot reagent bags. There's a new mount for both the Horde and the Alliance that look like the memory monsters that were fighting throughout the event, with the blue and yellow colours of Azerite, and they also fade out towards the ground. You'll be able to pick up the remembered Wind Rider on the Horde side, or the remembered Golden Griffin on the Alliance side. And then there are a handful of pets with the same effect and colours too, so if you're a pet collector, you got a couple of things you can pick up during this event. And then you can also buy a whole bunch of item level 480 catch-up gear. Pretty much every slot is covered, including rings, trinkets, and weapons. The gear is all upgradable. It's on the veteran track, so you can upgrade it up to 502 item level, and it's also all warbound gear, so you can trade it around your characters until you equip it. That also means you can pop it into your warband bank to help keep it all in one place. So this event is going to be pretty good to gear up any of your alts that don't have an item level already in the 480s or above. And then you can also buy this lifeless stone ring for just 25 memories. The ring doesn't do anything by itself, but you can turn this into a new heirloom ring, the Band of Radiant Echoes. To do this, you'll need to collect 3 essences which come from the memories of each event zone. So there's memories of Northrend, Eastern Kingdoms, and Kalimdor. You can get memories by taking part in the Phase 2 smaller events of each zone, and by killing the boss towards the end of the event. I picked up 6 memories from my very first event, and you only need 20 to combine into the full essence, so it shouldn't take too long to get everything you need. Get all 3 of the essences and combine them with the lifeless stone ring, and you should be able to unlock the Band of Radiant Echoes. Now, all of these memories are also warbound, so you can send them over to your alts or just keep them in your warband bank until you have 20 collected. So you don't have to do all of this on one character. You can get a few on one, a couple on another, and then just combine all your efforts together when you have enough. This is the kind of account-wide progress you should come to expect with the warband system in place, and I'm really looking forward to the War Within endgame progression. It's going to feel so much better knowing that your progress is shared between characters, and you won't lose anything if you decide to play something else. Something else you can do during this event is level up your alts. If you had any alts floating around the 60s or maybe a bit lower, and you didn't really want to restart all over again and level that class through the Mists of Pandaria remix event, you can get those stragglers leveled up pretty quickly in the pre-patch. You can take part in the event as long as you are above level 10 from what I understand, so almost any alt can earn some good experience in the pre-patch event. You're going to get experience from killing any of the monsters, so I would always tag as much as you can while running around the event. You also get big chunks of experience for each of the Phase 2 mini events, so try to contribute to as many of those as you can and take part in those, and then finishing the event also grants you a good chunk of experience too. At level 66 I gained about a level to a level and a half for one event, which is very quick when you consider that the start of the event only takes about 5 minutes. The annoying part is waiting for the next event to roll around so you can get the good experience again, but I guess as the weeks go by and as the events cycle every 30 minutes, the event could help you level very quickly indeed. You can also just stick around after the event ends and farm the leftover monsters. They respawn pretty quickly and give a good amount of experience, so as long as you can tag stuff quickly and there are plenty of people to help kill the mobs and speed up that respawn, it's not bad experience at all. It is worth noting that the pre-patch did reduce the amount of experience required to level up to level 70 quite significantly, so almost any other leveling method will also be much faster now, just in case you didn't want to grind event mobs over and over. Now, something that you may not have considered is that you can also use this event to prepare a whole bunch of gear for your alts that have leveled through time running. Time running characters won't transfer over to retail properly until the event ends. We also don't have any way to transfer them early, at least that we know of so far. The Mr. Pandaria Remix event ends on August 19th, which doesn't give you very long to play these characters in the pre-patch before the War Within launches, especially if you have early access, which becomes available on the 22nd. But with the currency being warband transferable, you can save that up and then just send it to your time running characters after the transfer happens, so they can gear up to 480 immediately via the vendor without having to actually take part in any of the events. The other option would be to save up all of your warbound gear in your war bank and just take whatever pieces you need on the characters that need gearing up. The main reason I bring this up is because we don't really have any idea how the time running transfer is going to work. We don't know what gear those characters will end up with, and you can be sure they won't be allowed to keep any of their actual time running gear. The item level is too high and the gems and cloak won't be available in retail, so it makes the most sense that each character will just be given a set of gear, and that gear will probably not be higher than the catch-up gear available from this event, otherwise it kinda makes the catch-up gear pointless. So stockpiling the currency or gear could be a great way to help your time running alts get ready in the few days they have before the expansion launches. And then the last thing you want to make sure you do is pop by your warband bank again and make sure it's unlocked. The warbank is finally available, so you can tinker around with it, unlock as many tabs as you can afford, and then start setting it up to make sure you have everything you might want your entire warband to have access to secured in the right place. Keeping the warbank tidy might seem difficult, but it's going to be a lot harder to tidy it up at the end of the expansion when you'll want all of that extra space for the new materials and goodies coming our way. But that's everything you can do in the pre-patch event, how to get all of the rewards, and what else you might want to spend some time on. What are you going to be working on until the War Within launches? How do you feel about the event from what you've seen so far? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.